great policy lead at the Department of Defense. It's why the President nominated him. And I just wanted to be here to give a word of encouragement, a word of approval, and just lend my reputation to Bridges' confirmation, because I think he's a really, really important person for us to have at the Department of Defense. We have gone for too long letting our industrial base get degraded, allowing our troops to not even have the munitions that they need to fight the wars of the future. President Trump really believes in peace through strength, but a core part of peace through strength is ensuring that our troops have the weapons that they need in order to fight the next war, if God forbid it necessarily comes. So Bridge is an important part of that defense policy. I think the Senate will confirm him, and I'm glad to be here and speak on his behalf. Happy to take a few questions if you guys have them.
Does pausing aid for Ukraine leave Ukraine vulnerable right now and give Russia an advantage?
Look, what the president has said very clearly about our Ukraine policy is that he wants the Ukrainians to come to the negotiating table. We want the Ukrainians to have a sovereign and an independent country. We think the Ukrainian troops have fought very bravely, but we're at a point here where neither Europe nor the United States, nor the Ukrainians can continue this war indefinitely. So it's important that everybody come to the table, and the president is trying to send a very explicit message. The Ukrainians have got to come to the table and start negotiating with President Trump.
Do you still have hope for the mineral deal? Do you believe that the mineral deal can still be reached with Ukraine?
Yeah, I certainly do. And I think the president is still committed to the mineral deal. I think we've heard some positive things, but not yet, of course, a signature from our friends in Ukraine. But look, the mineral deal is a really important part of the president's policy. Number one, the American people have got to get some payback for the incredible financial investment we've made in this country. A lot of the aid that the Europeans have sent has come in the form of money that is getting repaid to them. Well, it's really ridiculous and frankly an insult to the American people that the Europeans are getting a better deal than the American people. The president is just trying to ensure that the American people get a fair deal while simultaneously ensuring we have access to some minerals and resources that are very important for the economy of the future.
Jerusalem warns that unless the Islamist Hamas releases additional hostages, the gates of Gaza will shut and the gates of hell will open. Israel reiterates its commitment to protect the Druze communities of southern Syria. The International Atomic Energy Agency reiterates its alarm over Iran's nuclear program. Hamas's refusal to accept the outline of American envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, will unleash Israel's fury upon the Islamist terror organization. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz, during a state ceremony commemorating late Prime Minister Menachem Begin, underscored Jerusalem's commitment to the release of all hostages. Jerusalem's top defense official went on to level a fierce threat to Hamas that unless it accepts the American outline and continues to release hostages, the gates of Gaza will shut and the gates of hell will open.
Despite repeated violations by the Hamas terror organization and its refusal to accept the proposed outline by U.S. President Donald Trump's Mideast envoy Witkoff, we acquiesced to requests by the mediators to grant a number of additional days of negotiations, and in the meantime, we halted all humanitarian aid to Gaza. However, Hamas shouldn't be mistaken. This is only the beginning. And I say it here clearly, if Hamas does not release the hostages shortly, the gates of Gaza will shut, and the gates of hell will open. We will
תפנית כאשר ראש הממשלה בנימין נתניהו ושר הביטחון ישראל כץ הורו לצה"ל באופן חריג להיערך להתערבות בג'רמאנה כדי להגן על בני העדה הדרוזית.
رئيس الوزراء الإسرائيلي وهو يأمر الجيش الإسرائيلي بالاستعداد للدفاع عن بلدة جرمانة الدرزية قرب دمشق للدفاع بحسب ما يقول هو. وكذلك يقول رئيس الوزراء الإسرائيلي أنه لن يسمح للنظام الجديد في سوريا بأن يؤذي الدروز بحسب تعبيره.
האיום הישראלי החריג בעקבות אירועי ג'רמאנה לא מגיע בחלל ריק. בשבוע שעבר איים ראש הממשלה נתניהו על השלטון החדש של אחמד א-שארה, אם תפגעו בדרוזים נתערב.
نحن ممتنون جدا لدولة إسرائيل ونتطلع إلى إقامة سلام والتواصل الجغرافي مع دولة إسرائيل. هذا هو ما نتمناه وما تأمله شعوب المنطقة، شعوب منطقة الجنوب.
סמיר עזם, פעיל פוליטי בהר הדרוזים מחוז סווידה בדרום סוריה, סיפר בשיחה מיוחדת איתנו על תחושותיו בעקבות המתיחות הגוברת בינם לבין השלטון החדש שבטא...
half Lebanese. Since October 7th, I visited Israel 9 times, and I want to testify before God and you, Israel is not the problem. Last week, Israel buried Shiri Bibas with her children Ariel and Kfir. Hamas said they had been arrested. Forensic reports show they were choked to death in Gaza. But many who point fingers at Israel might do better to look in the mirror. I asked Qatar, why didn't you arrest the Hamas chiefs in Doha and demand release of the hostages? Why did you finance terror? And I ask Iran, why do you send billions to Hamas and Hezbollah instead of liberating your own people who are suffering oppression and poverty? Egypt, you charged Gazans thousands of dollars to escape the war. How can you lecture about the morality of displacing Gazans? Jordan, why have you refused to accept any Gazans? Are they not your own people? Lebanon, instead of discussing Hezbollah's political role, ban the party. Syria, if the new president is sincere about his transformation, I ask him to return the body of Eli Cohen. It's been 6 decades. Allow his wife to bury him before she dies. Hamas abuses dead bodies. Be a better Arab. Be a better Muslim. Thank you.
ቪዲዮ የሆሊውድ ጽዮናዊ ሳንሱር ያላንበረከከው የፍልስጤም ዶክመንተሪ በሚል ርዕስ ያዘጋጀውት ነው። ሆሊውድን ያንቦቀቦቀ በተግባር እናየዋለን። የፍልስጤም ዶክመንተሪ ኦስካር አሸንፏል። ይሄ በጣም መነጋገሪያ ሆኖ ነበር ከሁለት ቀናት በፊት። በዛ ዙሪያ እንግዲህ ሐሳብ እንለዋወጣለን። መነሻ ሐሳብ ላይ ማቀርብላችሁ ሐሳቦች አሉ። የፊልሙ ጭብጥ ሲኖፕሲስ በጥቅሉ ምንድነው የዶክመንተሪው ብለን እናያለን። ፊልሙን ልዩ የሚያደርጉትን ባህሪያት እንመለከታለን። ከዛ ውጭ ደግሞ ፊልሙ ያገኛቸውን በርካታ ሽልማቶች ጠቀስ እናደርጋለን። ፊልሙን አሜሪካ ለምን ፈራችሁ? የአሜሪካ የፊልም ኢንዱስትሪ ለምንድነው ፊልሙን የፈራው በሚል እንነጋገራለን። መፍራቱስ በምን ይገለጻል የሚለውንም ጭምር
سابي أنا هم حدا عبي بلوتيشان أب حماق جزي أب حماق عقات آمي أب شجرات نايت حبرة سب تخلو بوتنشال نايت سب آيسي دارجة هسيسوه بهالكار سابي زي نزي فلتو زجر من نجر أنا هم نجركها ناي فلسطين بعد ياسر عرفات فتحت بهالناتو مدد عبيت of course من مسريتهم تمس السبع مسريتهم إذا خافت تاريخ مخنياتو سبع نسيق عند حاجة زي نسمع بكويت كله يا قداميتي اوبريشن زغوروا عن إسرائيل أيتي حزلهم زخدن سي